process leading up to it, just like any other private property owner can be private, just like the township has in these circumstances.
Thank you, Mark.
Good question.
I'd like to ask a question to John Lawrence, to the board. Two quick questions. A, do you believe in democracy? The voters voted against the referendum. And just like, I don't want to repeat what this gentleman said, he was absolutely right. In other words, the voters voted against it. And now you're putting the same thing back again. And this is exactly what's going on in this country everywhere. In other words, the voters say no to one initiative after another in California. The interest groups, small minority, whoever they are, they take it to the courts or whatever, put it on the ballot again, whatever. Now, that's my question. Do you believe in democracy? If you do, you'll follow the fact the voters said no, the issue has to be tabled. That's what the voters said. Secondly, you stated there was misinformation in the campaign. And I'd like you to state one example of the misinformation that you can state to the public here. That people were opposed, nobody's opposed to open space. Nobody. We're opposed to the deficit. And I'd like to know one bit of information that you consider misinformation in the campaign, context of the campaign.
Certainly. I met a retired couple on Route 841 that had been visited by our opposition to the referendum, and when I visited them, they had been told by that opposition that they would be paying higher taxes if this referendum passes. And I explained to them that no, since they're retired, they have no earned income taxes, which they verified, that their taxes would actually decrease since their real estate tax would drop, their earned income taxes would not go up because they had no earned income. So here they were fearful that they would be paying higher taxes because that's what they were told.
Did you do that?
When in truth, they would be paying lower taxes. I thought that was sad to mislead an elderly couple like that.
How do you know they were telling the truth?
So the second example I give is that on election day, I was in front of the polls, and a woman came up to me and said, "Why would you take out a loan that is all interest? Why are you only paying interest on the loan?" And I said, "That is a flat out lie. Who told you that?" And so she brought over Dave Galligan. And Dave Galligan said, "Yes, it's an interest-only loan." And I said, "That is not true, Dave. It is not an interest-only loan. It's a fixed-rate loan, standard loan." Any other questions? Any more examples?
No, you answered my question.
Thank you.
You didn't answer my first question. Do you believe in democracy?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you do, why are you pursuing what you're doing? You're going against the will of the people. People can vote against it. Why should, how about if it fails again, my friend, then what?
Thank you for your comment. Thank you. Stan.
Yeah, I'd like to state that one of the other misrepresentations that I heard was precisely the issue that was brought up just a few minutes ago by these people saying, making the claim that the township would be buying a huge amount of property and spending money to maintain that property as for the parkland. When in fact, what the township is proposing to do is to buy development rights, and then there wouldn't be any overhead to maintain. And I heard this from many different sources, and people who were campaigning against the open space initiative. And there were other things having to do with the burden of taxes, the fact that many people in the township would not be paying the tax because there is already a 0.5% levy tax for people who don't work, who work in other townships that already have a 1% levy. There was a lot of misinformation in that respect. And I hear some of it echoed tonight from some of the comments from the people in the accusatory forum for this board. And as far as bringing in what's going on in Washington, I would say that what's going on in Washington also includes a lot of going against the will of the people on the side of the people that just recently elected and thinking overstating their mandate. We can have long discussions about those kinds of issues.
Let's hold off on the federal discussion. We're not going to solve that one. Anybody new? Okay, one more from you.
I just want to respond to what you said.
Nothing about the federal stuff?
Nothing.
please?
No, that's right.
Okay. Could you state your name again?
Dave Paulsteiner.
Thank you.
Do you consider the projection of 1,000 to 2,000 new homes in the township in the next few years as a truthful statement?
How would I answer that? So It's not 1,000 to 2,000. The maximum build-out capacity of our township is 2,000. The range is 1,800 to 2,300. I'm using the middle of 2,000. That's at current zoning. I don't know when it would happen, but that's the possible potential build-out if the open space was built. All unpreserved open space is built. We had that evaluated by Grand Rapids Conservancy to give us that number.
That's a possibility, but is it
I didn't
likely?
just pull it out of there.
Okay, that's a possibility.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
just,
likely?
just take things like the 400 acres of the Strawbridge property that's left, that's could still be built. You know, at 2 acre zoning, that's probably not 800 houses, probably 750 houses by the time you put in streets, and there's some streams down there. That's how you do it. And just look at the properties that are left, look at the zoning, come up with the number of houses.
And you see that as a distinct possibility?
Oh,
As a realistic possibility,
In the long term.
yeah, absolutely, in the long term, sure.
even though there's only 1,500 homes in the township now?
Yeah, and I may not get the number right, it's either 30 years ago or 35 years ago, there was 900 homes in the township. 880, I think is the number. So it's happening pretty quick, and most of them were built in the last 10 years. Do you disagree with that, you agree with that?
It was a totally different environment. It was gangbusters.
That's right.
2000, from 2000 to 2006, there's hardly a street that didn't have a development going.
That's right, and
It's a very different environment today.
it is, absolutely, and this is the time to buy development rights, and it will return someday, either a year from now or 8 years from now, I don't know.
Like to respond, all you have to do is look at Sanawaki, all you have to do is look at the amount of development that's gone on in neighboring townships that don't have, open space initiatives, compared to what's happening in Franklin Township. I don't know the exact figures perhaps for it, but I agree with my time. Look at the amount of development that's occurred in neighboring townships, it's really quite extraordinarily different. And development, as anybody knows, grows exponentially. And so all you have to do is change the doubling time by a little bit, and you can easily get to, a doubling or tripling of the size of the population within a time that we all can experience, or at least our children can experience.
To Stan's point, Penn was the fastest growing township in Pennsylvania, I believe 2 out of the last 3 years, in all the states. So I don't have a number of how many houses went in Penn, but yes, they're growing fast. And then if you look at what Franklin has done as opposed to that, in the last 5 years, we've preserved about 1,200 acres. So just if it was all 2 acre zoning, that's 600 houses, right? That's a big chunk. That's a graduating class out of the school system. Where are they gonna put those kids? Where would they put those kids? But that's at 2 acres. One of those properties was high density. They were putting in 239 townhomes. So probably would have been much more than that, but now we're speculating. So, it could have been 600.
Speculating. You're expecting the economy to turn around, and it's not. That's.
Over 30
Well,
years.
you're
Over 10
speculating,
years.
that's not.
All right, so I don't get into an economic debate, I'm not
No,
an
that's
economist.
beyond.
I just want to make
One more for Jane.
Okay, thank you. When we were discussing this back at the January 12th meeting, I mentioned one of my